Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وأملا متقبلا آمين يا رب العالمين. So here we are with our session number 274 for Quranic Arabic grammar, in which we are going to do the review of all that we have learned in the past few sessions. Alhamdulillah. So I'm going to start review with the test that I have assigned to you. Alhamdulillah, 19 people were able to attempt the test. I think it was less than 19. Some people re-attempt the test, and that was, I'm very proud of all of you. Alhamdulillah, most of you have done extremely well. So let's start with the review from the test. And those of you who have not attempted the test yet, please still you have a chance to attempt it, because when you signed up for this course, it was one of the a requirement that you are going to fulfill you are going to complete all the assessments, all the assignments. If I don't see your name, that means that you are not interested anymore, and you do not want to continue. So kindly, if you have not yet attempted the test, finish your test, inshallah. Okay, so the test has the first question on your screen, which was yad'u. Root letters were already given to you, so that you do not have to worry about the root letters, and you just need to see what is happening in the word, right? When you see yad'u, what is the type of ilal that you're noticing here? If I have to ask you this, that was very simple, plain and simple, that you are seeing yad'u became yad'u as per the rule that we have been covering very many times in the past, and it is called ilal bit taskeen. When you see mithaq, I already gave you the root letters. Waw, tha, qaf were the root letters. If I ask you what happened in the word, the answer is very simple. This is ilal bil qalb, right? So I should have not done that, sorry. Okay, the next question. Tulqa, tulqa, lam, qaf, ya were the root letters. And if you are asked what happened to the word, because the word, your ya was preceded by a fatha, it got changed into alif, right? And this is called qalb, ilal bil qalb. In case of mithaq, it is there was a vow that got changed into ya because of the kasra on the letter before, right? So far everything is easy, right? You all have attempted it very well. It's just for those of you, if you have missed a point or two, I just want to make sure that we review this, okay, inshallah. So when you see qamu, qaf, waw, mim are the root letters, and it's very simple, because the waw was present after a letter that has a fatha, and waw was mutaharrik. So as per the rule of qalb, it got changed into alif, right? So waw got changed into alif, and the changing of a weak letter into an alif is going to be called ilal bil qalb, right? Because the one letter changed into another weak letter. When you see qada, qaf, dod, ya are the root letters. Alif will never be your root letter. In here, again, ya got changed into alif because of the fatha on the letter before, and this is called ilal bil qalb again. When you see yahdi, yahdi, it is ilal bit taskeen. Very good job. And because yahdiyu was the original form, it became yahdi as per the rule, where your ya and waw, if they have a dhamma or a fatha, and they are preceded by a letter with a dhamma or a no, if your ya and waw have dhamma and kasra, and they are preceded by a letter that has a dhamma or kasra, they take upon themselves a sukoon, and this is called ilal bit taskeen, right? Everyone has attempted this. I think nobody has made mistake up until here. So then comes your word yuridu. Yuridu, what is it? Where is it coming from? Where is this word coming from? Kindly tell me. This is coming from family 4. Give me one example of one of the fail from family 4 in mudare form. Aslama, yuslimu, right? Aslama, yuslimu, right? So Aslama yuslimu. In case of Aslama yuslimu, what is the haraka on your foul kalima? It is sakin. Very good job. So, but in here, yuridu, which is ra waw dal. So you don't need to go to rubai. You notice? in here, if the word is rubai, waswasa, yuwaswisu, zahraja, zalzala, yuzalzilu, all those words that are rubai will also have a alamatul mudari, that will have a dhamma, but there is no confusion in here that this is not rubai, this is a three letter word. So the family for this word is only family number 4, right? There is no shadda, there is no extra alif, right? So original form is just you go back to your original form for your family 4. Your family 4 has a sakin on the first root letter, but in here you are seeing a kasra, so you are saying that now my vow, yurvidu, the vow that was with a haraka and was preceded by a letter that was sakin and was sahih, right? Ra is a sahih letter, you all agree? When you have a ra before vow, ra is a sahih sakin, vow is going to give its haraka to ra, and this is called, what is the name for this movement of haraka? Movement of haraka is called nakal, right? Nakal. Everyone, right? Now we can hardly pronounce a word. So when your vow became sakin, the next step was after nakal, what goes with kasra? Which letter goes with kasra? Is it vow that goes with kasra, or ya sounds better with kasra? Ya is going to sound better with kasra. So you have to pick an option where it says ilal bin naqal wal qalb, right? You have to pick ilal bin naqal wal qalb, right? Everyone, is this clear? First there was a naqal and then qalb. If you pick only that there is ilal bil qalb, that will be considered wrong. If you will say that this is ilal bit taskeen, that is going to be wrong. This is ilal bin naqal wal qalb. That is a correct answer. So always when you have figured out your family, just see how your regular family looks like. You have to see how is my mudare of family 4, regular sahih family or mudare of family 4, yuslimu. I have to bring yuslimu in mind, and then I see does it look like yurvidu? No, it is not sounding like yurvidu. There is a change. There is a nakal and then there is a qalb. So that is how you are going to be able to get to the right answer. Okay. The next question, I hope this was clear to each and every one of you. Yuridu, there are 2 steps that happen, nakal and qalb, and I think you're all with me so far, right? So then the next one is amantum. Amantum, in here, when you have these options, my dear students, when you have these options where you have nakal with taskeen, nakal with qalb, ibdal, ilal bit taskeen, bil hazb bil qalb, you cannot just write that in misaq ibdal happened. Will it be correct to say then in misaq ibdal happened when you have very specific options? When you have very specific choices, to pick from, you should not say that there is a simple ibdal. Yes, a letter change into another letter and it all falls under the umbrella of ibdal, but that won't be the right choice when you have other options which are very specific, right? If there is a specific option given, choose that specific option. Okay, inshallah, that is the rule how you attempt your test or any test in future, inshallah. Okay. So in amantum, there was a hamza that got changed into alif. Yes, so weak letter, you have to we are very specifically calling it elal, Shamim, when I have this sort of a questionnaire for you, you have to be specific, inshallah. Okay, and you were very, alhamdulillah, with your answers, you knew where you were going, alhamdulillah. So when it comes to amantum, changing of hamza into alif, can you call it qalb, elal bil qalb? Why not elal bil qalb? Is hamza harf illa? That is the first question that should be in your mind. Hamza is not a weak letter, so elal bil qalb is going to be a wrong option. In here you have to pick ibdal, right? In here you have to pick ibdal, and that is going to be the right answer for your test, inshallah, and otherwise as well. The next word was al-mustaqimu. Al-mustaqimu. So original word, you again have to go to your original family 10, you have their kasra, and this sounds like meme dhamma. So meme dhamma with kasra reminds me of some file of big families. Okay, meme dhamma with kasra on somewhere should remind you of some file of big families. So in here, when you have al-mustaqimu, you have to go to al-mustaghfiru. Al-mustaghfiru. In mustaghfiru, the first letter is ghain, right? Ghain, fa, ra, other root letters. And the first letter is sakin, right? It is sakin. Do you all agree? Al-mustaghfiru, the one who is asking for forgiveness, ghain is sakin. But what happened here in case of al-mustaqimu? There is the first root letter, which was qaf, that is being written with a kasra, right? That had got a al-mustaqimu has a kasra, and where was this kasra coming from? Mustaghfiru. The fa had a kasra in the original form. So the second root letter, which was waw in this case, gave its kasra to the first root letter. So this movement of haraka from one letter to another is called an-naqal, right? An-naqal. And after an-naqal, what goes well with kasra? Is it the waw or the ya? It is the ya, and you are going to just pick an option where you are going to say ilal bin naqal wal qalb. Is this clear to all of you? How you are going to go back. So you have to think about it like mustaqvimu, just like Shamim has written. Mustaqvimu, write it like that, mustaqfiru. And then when you see what happened here, mustaqimu in qaf got a kasra, which was the kasra coming from the waw, and then waw, as per what settles, what goes well with kasra, change into a letter that goes well with kasra, and that is ya. Okay, am I going too fast? No? Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, the next word was ata'i. So ain, ta, waw were the root letters, and anytime when you have alif zaida and there is waw or ya, and now there are so many examples in your groups when you are doing your word to word, focus on those examples, okay, and figure out where this hamza is coming from. And now you should not be having any confusion when you see such hamzas, because now you know that if my waw and ya come after alif zaida, they change into hamza, right? So this is what happened in word ata. Okay, so when you see, so this one is going to be ilal bil qalb, right? We are going to call this change where where the one weak letter got changed into another letter, as we are going to name it ilal bil qalb, right? Then comes tabu. So tawaba. So you were nasaru tawabu. Originally it was tawabu. What happened? Waw was mutaharrik and a letter before had a fatha, so it got changed into alif, right? When you see awla, nearer, closer, which comes from root letters waw, lam, ya, what is a change that happened here? And this is, is this taskin or something else? So awla, is ya there anymore, Sister Faiza? It is qalb, right? Ya got changed into alif, so you just call it ilal bil qalb, right? Easy. When you have word khafat, kha, waw, fa were the root letters. The same thing, khawafat, original, khawafat, original form, but your waw was mutharrik, preceded by a letter with a fatha, so it got changed into alif, and this change of waw into alif is simply called ilal bil qalb, right? Then the next word was taziru. Waw, zai, ra were the root letters, right? So now you're not seeing your one of the root letters, waw, because it was stuck between alamatul mudari and kasra. So what happens to the waw that gets stuck between alamatul mudari and ainul kalima, that is maksura? it just gets omitted, right? Any rocket science here? That there is a hasf when a letter is not there anymore. Pick hasf, right? And you've been seeing me using this word hasf in your nahu as well, where I say that there is something mahzoof here. So that is all, when you don't have something mentioned and something gets omitted. This is what hasf is all about, when something gets dropped, not there anymore. Next word was yattakhizu. Yattakhizu. So in here, you have root letters Hamza, Kha, Zal. One Sahi letter got changed into another Sahi letter, and you are going to call this Ibdal, right? So when you have specific options, pick those specific options, okay? When you have Muhinan and the root letters were Ha, Waw, Noon, Mim, Dhamma, and a Kasra in a word should remind you of Isam File, right? Right? Isam File. Ha, Waw, Noon. So Isam File with muhinan spelling, without any shadda, without any extra ta, alif, or noon, it is family 4, right? Muhinan, mubinan, all of these words are from family 4, right? So now see what happened. Muslimun, think about Muslimun, muhsinun, mukinun, right? Yeah, right? All those words. Keep those words in mind, right? And then go to the word muhinan. Is your ha in here sakin or mutaharik? It is mutaharik, right? And where is this kasra coming from? It was coming from the waw. It was muhwinan, muhwinan. So there is a nakal from a haraka moved from one letter to another letter. Waw gave its haraka to ha that was present before. Waw gave its haraka to the letter before, and this movement of haraka from one letter to another letter is called nakal. And then waw does not go well with kasra. It is ya which is compatible with kasra. So waw gets changed into ya, and this is going to be called nakal. Elal bin nakal, elal bin nakal, wal kalb, right? Easy? Everyone with me so far? When you see word kiltum, which option? There is kaf, ya, lam were the root letters. If you just see what has been omitted, just focus on that. Just what has been omitted. There is something that got omitted, and you have to pick hazf here. So from the options that were given here, you are going to pick elal bil hazf, right? Yeah, I'm sorry if sometimes things, but because how the things work on the Google Forms, it may be sometimes it can get problematic, because every time you have to go back and see which row was that. I will try to make sure that I break this up into five words, so that it's so that we can avoid mistakes, inshallah, in future. I will try to do that, inshallah. So the next word is la tamshi. La tamshi. This was again meme sheen ya. I wanted you to pick hazf here because your ya got dropped, right? Right? Your was elal bil hazf. So it was plain and simple. And I think that should be the correct answer. When you see tamilu, mim, ya, lam are the root letters, right? So if there is a kasra in a word, and word is from family 1, it should remind you of which two families in fail mudare. Kasra in fail mudare, family 1, it should remind you of either daraba or hasiba, right? Daraba, hasiba. So now in daraba, hasiba, it is the fail mudare is going to be tamyilu, or in both, right? Tamyilu. But here what is happening? Is there a movement of a haraka from ya to the mim, right? So there's this movement where you are seeing that the haraka moved from one letter to another, and you can just say elal bin nakal wat taskeen, right? In here, because the letter did not get changed, so now the most specific answer can be elal bin nakal wat taskeen. Is this clear to all of you? Okay. In word yakunu, which family is this coming from? When you have fail mudare from family 1, with Dhamma. Fail Mudare, family one with Dhamma, you should start to think about number one, Nasara. Number one, Nasara. In here, can I have, and also Karuma, but in how many root letters have come from Karuma family in Ajwaf? Because now that you will be tested on all these Ajwafs and Nakises and every misals, so make sure that you are on top of everything. You are on your A game and while you are preparing for your test, because there's no कोई गुंजाइश नहीं है गलती की. Okay, you cannot relax here. Okay, you have to be on your A game while you're preparing for your test, inshallah. So originally word was yakvunu, and there is a movement from waw to the kaf, and then you will the most specific answer here is going to be ilal bin nakal wa taskeen, if that makes sense, right? Nakal wa taskeen is going to be the correct answer. And always remember that in case of ajwaf, how many families have ajwaf can come from? In ajwaf, when you are looking at ajwaf, ajwaf comes from nasara, daraba, samia, and one root letter comes from karuma, which is ta, waulam, right? Only one set of root letter that comes from karuma, which was ta, waulam, tala, yatulu. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Okay, so this was your test, and alhamdulillah, most of you have done excellent. If you are, if you are above, if you're 15 and above, don't worry about anything. I will recommend, if you are below 18, retake the test. Okay, retake the test, and that is what is going to be counted towards your grade. Okay, if you which one you do better in, I'm going to pick that test. Okay, if you reattempt your test and you do better, I will pick the test with the highest marks. Okay, for your final scores. Does it make sense? So I don't want to be too mean. No, we know the answers. Don't look at the recording. Give yourself some time. You know the answers, but you still can go back. Okay, there is, these practices, these tests are just to refine your knowledge. These are not to break your egos. Okay, so if the test is never meant, Quranic test should never be meant to break somebody's ego. Oh, you don't know anything. Okay, any test, the intent behind the test that I'm creating for you guys is just to polish your knowledge, just to refine you. Okay, just to make you master the concept, so that when you're teaching to somebody else, you know what you're talking about. That is the entire intent. So if you take it 10 times, it does not, this is a Quran test, right? It is not your MBBS exam where you have to know what you're doing, and because you're dealing with lives of people. No, it's not that. These tests, my intention is to, and always whenever we discuss about the test or anything, what we create or bring to you, it is just just to make sure that we are keeping you on your A game, and you are you're on top of your lessons and everything. The intent is never to break somebody's ego or to tell them, oh, you don't know anything. No. Okay, so inshallah, I hope this is going to be very, very beneficial to all of you, inshallah. If you can reattempt the test, if you are, if you want to reattempt it, and if you want to get up to 20, reattempt as many times as you want. Okay, inshallah. So you feel free to do so. Okay, inshallah. So what we are going to do now is, we are going to, there are two things that I wanted to go over with you guys in today's session. One was, I was thinking that we have gone over Surah Taha and the Sarf and Nahu of Surah Taha. However, in Surah Taha, we never went over the advanced Sarf, right? We always would leave those words where advanced Sarf will come. And so was the case up until the surahs that we have covered, right? In all the surahs, we have mostly skipped advanced Sarf. You remember that? We never went over any of the lessons where there was I always would tell you, okay, skip this part, you just need to know this, you just need to know it superficially. Okay, now let me pick a surah here. Let's see, Taha is very long surah, but we have done Suratul Mulk, and let me see if I can go over few words from Suratul Mulk, and then I'm going to shift the gears and will take you to something that I have tried to put together for you guys for a review, inshallah. Okay, so because now that we are starting our surah back, it's important that we do it. Okay, inshallah. So let me just see here where my Suratul Mulk is, that most of you recite, and I hope every night. So now I'm going to show you the words and you come up with your right answers, inshallah. Okay. So in here, in ayah number two, I have a word which is on my muttal side. Um, Pretty much, Sister Zora, we are pretty much done with a lot of grammar. So there will be concepts that we will, now be introducing. But for the most part, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, we have done the grammar of the surah. Yeah, if you're asking about the grammar of the surah, yes, we have done that. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So now you have a word here, which is coming from this advancer, liyabluwa, liyabluwa, right? Liyabluwa. When you look at this word liyabluwa, what does it remind you of? Is this, if it is mottal, if it is from mottal, you have to go back to your slides every time this slide should be in your mind, and you have to think about misal ajwaf naqis lafif. So this is, Sister Faiza and Shaheen are saying that this is naqis, and they are right, because the last root letter is waw, and that is what naqis is about. In naqis, your lamul kalima is either going to be waw or ya, right? When you have naqis wavi, naqis wavi, what do you think this word is going to be coming from? Is from, if it is family one, and your ainul kalima is madmoom, so this is going to be your Nasara clan. This is going to be your Nasara clan. There is a word, I think we were doing yesterday. When you see this word, taghlu, la taghlu, this word was originally taghlubuna. This word was originally taghlubuna, right? Originally it was taghlubuna. Remember one thing. When you have your ainul kalima in naqis that has a dhamma, your root letter is, can it be ever ya? What do you think? Think about it. It's going to be, if your ainul kalima, lamul kalima, if your ainul kalima is with dhamma, from Nasara clan, I have put it in on the thing as well for you guys to review, inshallah. When you will go back to your Naqis slides, you will find it there as well, that if your last root letter, based on your last root letter, if your last root letter is ya, if your last root letter is ya, it's not going to be naqis yai, would not come from bab nasara. Okay, keep in mind, it would not come from bab nasara. Naqis wavi would not come from daraba. Is this clear? Alhamdulillah, everyone got it. So if somebody asks you what could be the possible letters, root letters for this word, can it be, do I have to pick between waw and ya? You should be very clear. If the word is from daraba, the last root letter would most likely be ya. Remember that. If the last root letter is waw, it's mostly going to be, Nasara clan. Okay, and then there is going to be Fataha and Samia, that is always going to be there for both of them, and you can see that on your slides. And then your Naqis Wavi can also come from Karuma as well. Okay, keep that in mind. This slide is very important. I just shared it in one of the groups, and I think this is kind of helpful for everyone to see, where my Naqis Wavi is going to come from, where my Naqis Yai is going to come from. Then in that case, you will be able to shortlist your family. You will be able to go to exact family, inshallah, that, this word is going to be coming from the word that I showed you, Yabluwa. Now there should not be any confusion. It's very straightforward that this is Nasara clan, and the word is coming from it is the word is Nakis Yai. Okay, so that was the first one, and then I have here. Do you see any other? There is no. Okay, ayah 3. Pick a word that is not Sahih Salim. Pick a word that is not Sahih Salim. And okay, Tara, very good job. Very good job. Very good job. So Tara is not Sahih Salim. Very good job. So the root letters are Ra, Hamza, Ya. Ra, Hamza, Ya. And now remind me, in the last session, what did you learn about Tara? Ra, Hamza, Ya. Which rules are being applied to this word? There is a rule of Yasalu, very good job, where Hamza gave its haraka to Ra, which was a letter before it, and gets dropped. The Ya that was present at the end is undergoing a change, which is called Ya also has undergone a change. What was the change? It got changed into Alif. So this is going to be Yasalu rule and Qalb rule, right? Both rules are going to be applied here. Very good job. Very proud of you all. Very, very proud of you all. Alhamdulillah. The next word, now pick another one. Pick another one other than Tara. There is another one that you can see, which is not Sahih word. Okay. And it can be in Ism too. Tafawut. Tafawut. And if you see tafawut, the extra letters in this word are ta and alif. So ta and alif are the extra, right? So which is the family? Now tell me the family. When alif is extra, when only alif is extra, family is family 3. When there is ta and alif extra, family is going to be family 6, right? Family 6, tafaul, right? Tafaul. There are two root letters, right? There are two extras. This is mazid bi harfain. Think about it. It is mazid bi harfain. This is root letters are fa, waw, ta, and extra mazid letters are ta and alif. When ta and alif are there, the family is family number 6, which is bab tafaul. Tafaul, not jahada, right? It is not mufa'alatun. It is not mufa'alatun. It is tafaul. Is this clear? Because there is not only extra alif, there is also extra ta, right? So in here, do you see any ilal? Did you find any ilal bil qalb wal taskeen wal naqal or anything? Thank God there is nothing of that nature and we are saved, right? Alhamdulillah, we don't need to overthink about it. Alhamdulillah. Okay. The next word in here, I'm going to skip ayah 4 and I'm not going to skip ayah 4. I'm going to take you to ayah 4. Give me a word from ayah 4 which is Sahih but not Sahih Salim. Very good job. So Sister Zora already picked the word. She read my mind. Alhamdulillah, this is what happens when you are with somebody for so long. Then you read your teacher's mind. And yes, I was going to ask you about khasi'an. So this word khasi'an is sahih word, right? It is sahih. When you look at the word, it is ism file of a word that is sahih, but it is not sahih salim. What is going to be it is sahih mahmuz, right? Because it is there is a hamza in a word, it cannot be sahih salim. What other thing is going to be in a word and it is going to not remain sahih salim? What should, if the word has a doubling of, if there is a second and third letter which is mutamasilain, which are the same, if the second and the third root letter are identical, it is going to be sahih mud'af and not going to be called sahih salim. So khasiyan, because of the presence of hamza, is not sahih salim, it is sahih mahmuz. And you are already, I think, typing here that this is because the lamul kalima is hamza, so it is going to be mahmuzul lam, right? Am I right? And this is some file. Everyone got it? Okay, now let's go to the next ayah number 5. Now we are going to just focus on our advanced surf. And in here, give me something. Yes, so you are already picking the word. So zayyanna is a word where you are finding zayanun. and this word is not Sahih, it is Mu'tal, and it is Mu'talul Ain. When a word is Mu'talul Ain, it is going to be called Ajwaf. And if the second root letter is Ya, in that case, it is going to be Ajwaf Yai. And this word is not coming from family one. This is Mu'talul Ain, Ajwaf Yai, coming from Bab Taf'il, right? You all agree that there is a doubling of the second root letter. So we are going to give it to Bab Taf'il or family two, where there is doubling of Ainul Kalima, doubling of the second root letter. There's a lot of 2 in case of second family, right? Okay, now I'm going to take you to the next one. Okay, so in here, do you see anything? Do you see anything that is not Sahih Salim? So yes, Bi'sa is not Sahih Salim. And in Bi'sa, you are noticing, you have not come across a fail that is going to be with a second letter sakin, right? Any letter that you have covered so far will have either a fatha or dhamma or a kasra in family one. However, this is in here there is a hamza. This is a mahmuzul ain. However, the hamza is sakin, and this happened with some change, and we can discuss it. I don't remember the exact change that happened. There's a transferring of harakat here and there that happened. I will discuss it. I can always go back to it and at a later time, but not today. The next word that you have, al-masir, al-masiru. So what do you think about al-masiru? It is ajwa yai, and this is going to be your ism zarf, ism zarf. And when if you see because of the context, it is zarf makan. Very good job, Shameen. Very good job, Husna Ara and Shaheen. Very well done, right? So this is ajwaf yai, sod, ya, ra were the root letters. Family one, and Sister Faiza is coming with the changes that has happened to the word. If I asked you, what was the pattern you were expecting in here? What was the original form of your ism zarf? Maf'alun, maf'ilun, maf'alatun, right? Maf'alun, maf'ilun, maf'alatun. In every case, your foul kalima, the first root letter is sakin. But in here, are you seeing any sakin? The first root letter is sakin? No. So what happened? There is an ilal bin naqal wa taskin, right? Ilal bin naqal wa taskin. Easy? Are you everyone able to identify it like that? Okay. The next one that I have for you is ayah number 7. So ulqu. Now you have ulqu, and this ulqu is coming from lam, qaf, and ya. Lam, qaf, ya. So if I asked you, what should be the regular form of this one? Yeah. So the laqiya is in the family one, right? In family one, it is going to be laqiya, right? Family one hua is laqiya. So it's going to be alqa yulki, right? Original was alqa yulki, right? When you took it to the in the past tense, what were you left with in the past tense home form? What was the past tense home form? Yes, so ulkiya is the majhul. Ulkiya was the majhul form, but ulkiyu Ulkiyu was the passive, which was the original. Ulkiyu. So what happened to your ya? I'm not seeing it there anymore. What happened? There is a hus. Why? Why? But before hus, did something happen? What happened here? So ulkiyu, ya, when it is ulkiyu, when ya is mutaharik with the dhamma or a kasra, and a letter before has a dhamma or a kasra, what does ya do? Ya takes upon itself a sukoon, right? You have to go back to your nakis, and I have it pulled here for you. I think it is Lafif. Excuse me. Okay. Somewhere it should be very clearly written, and this should help you how you're going to understand this word. Okay, kind of like this. So basically, ulki you can think about radi you, just like radi you. We are going to focus on the end letters. Okay, we are not going to and focus on the first haraka. Okay, because we are in passive, and this word is the example that I'm showing is not passive. It is active. It is ma'loom, fail ma'loom. But just look at what happens here. Ulkiyu, ya is going to get a taskeen because of the letter before had a kasra, right? So ulkiyu, ya became sakin. Now the two sakins came together, iltaqai sakinain, and what happened? Ya got omitted. There is a hasf of ya because of iltaqai sakinain. Is this clear to each and every one of you? When vawil jama'a is preceded by a kasra, what what happens to that kasra? If there is a vowel jama'a and it is preceded by a kasra, what did I teach you? If there is a kasra on a letter before vowel jama'a, it gets changed into the ma because of the compatibility between the ma and the vowel. Is this clear? Whenever there is going to be a kasra, it can be any form. If there is, it's going to be with any form. So ulki you, why the qaf lost its kasra? Because vowel jama'a is going to have compatibility with dhamma. So the kasra of qaf is going to get changed into dhamma. Is this clear? Due to the compatibility. Yes. Alhamdulillah. Are we good? Are you going to be able to write them down and open this word up just like we have done in the class right now? Alhamdulillah. Most of you are going to be able to do so. I hope. I wish I sometime ask, I can see you doing it, inshallah. Okay. Okay. So now the next word is, in this the same ayah, do you find any other word that is not sahih? Tafur. Tafur. So in tafur, what are we seeing here? So there is fa, waw, ra. Which are the root letters? Fa, waw, ra are the root letters. There is, if there is a dhamma in ajwaf, which is ajwaf mujarrad, as-sulasi al-mujarrad, there are only three main, in ajwaf as-sulasi mujarrad, there are only three main clans we are going to focus on. When your word has a dhamma, that is restricted to only one clan, right? It is going to be only Nasara clan then, right? Only Nasara clan. And in Nasara clan, you have a spelling Tansuru, Tansuru, right? But here you don't see Tansuru. In here, your foul kalima is no longer sakin, it is mutaharik. So what happened here? There is a nakal, elal bin nakal, the haraka moved from waw to the fa, and then there is iskan, elal bin nakal wal iskan. Easy? Okay, Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, now the next letter or the next ayah for you is ayah number 8. In ayah number 8, you have the any word that is reminding you of something other than Sahih? Takadu. So takadu is your word. Very good job that you have picked. And this is your ajwaf. This is going to be your ajwaf. And originally word was takwadu, takwadu, takwadu. And what happened here? Waw gave its harakat to the letter before, and there is an ilal bin nakal, and then waw got changed into alif, and this is going to be nakal wal qalb. Nakal wal qalb. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Alhamdulillah. And when there was a root letter, kaf, ya, dal, where would you expect to see kaf, ya, dal to come from? You have seen that in Quran, kada yakidu. It comes from Daraba clan in Quran, right? This is coming from kaf, waw, dal, takadu, almost, right? And this is, if you are thinking about ajwab, which is ajwab wavi, is this from Nasara or Samia? This one, takadu. It is coming from Samia clan, right? So you know now, you have been given the slides that if it is ajwab wavi, those are the clans that it is going to come from. These are the clans it's going to come from. If it is ajwab yai, these are the clans it is going to come from, right? You have all those slides. Is this clear? That if it is your ajwab wavi, it is going to be from Nasara or Samia, and there is one set of root letter that comes from Karuma. If it is Yai, it is going to be from Samia, and it's going to be from Daraba. Easy? When you see Tamayyazu, in here, Mim, Ya, Zai are the root letters. Now this is Ajwaf Yai. First we were doing Ajwaf Wavi. Now we are doing Ajwaf Yai. And in here, your Ajwaf Yai is in case of is present in family number 5. And in family 5, there is an extra ta, and there is a doubling of Ainul Kalima that you're seeing. So this family is Mazid bi Harfain, and you're not noticing any elal, right? And the words remain as such. And if you look at al-ghayz, that is also a, masdar of an ajwaf, right? Al-ghayz, ghain, ya, za. When you see word ulqiya, what does it remind you of? So ulqu has wabil jama'a as naibul file. In case of ulqiya, if you don't know the context, what is the damir? It is damir mustatir hua, right? It is damir mustatir hua. So it is damir mustatir hua here that got cancelled by fawjun. Fawjun is the outside naibul file in here, right? So ulqiya is your fail madin majhul, right? Fail madin majhul. And in here, you are seeing the regular, how things are regularly, ui, right? Are you noticing any change? Did any change happen here? No, there is no change. Very good job. There is no change that we are seeing here. In the same ayah, do you have anything that is not Sahih Salim? And there are more words that are not Sahih Salim. So yati, ataya, and there is a hazf based on sarf. If you look it from the sarf standpoint, there's a hasful ya that took place because of lam being present, because your word is mudare majzoom. So in here, you are just basically seeing hasf of ya in yati, right? And then you have a word which is mahmuzul ain, sa'ala, right? Mahmuzul ain sa'ala. Very good job, and that's a past tense of this, right? In case of ayah number 9, you have ja'a. In ja'a, very interesting word. So is this going to be, where are you going, how are you going to classify it? So this is from abwab mutafarriqa mukhtalata, right? Where there's a combination, right? They're mukhtalif and they're mutafarriq. There's all combinations is coming here. So word is, it is ajwaf yai and mahmuzul lam, and this is mahmuzul lam, right? Everyone, And this is coming from Sister Husniara wrote that this comes from Bab Daraba, Ja'a right? So that is correct answer for this word. So if it is coming from Daraba clan, can anyone give me its Hunna form? How will it look like when Ya gets dropped? What haraka goes on Jim? So in Hunna, you will see the Ya is going to get dropped. So Jim is going to get a kasra that will remind you of that, in this word, ji'tum, ji'na, which is Hunna, ji'na, the Ya was the Ainul Kalima, right? Ji'na, ji'tum, you have seen many Quran. Ji'na, you have seen in Quran, right? Okay. In here, you have ajwa of yai. We were talking about ajwa of yai and mahmuzullah. Now we have a pure ajwa as well in the same ayah. Can anyone point that out? Kulna. Very good job. Kulna. There is a word kulna, and kulna is your nahnu kulna, and this word is coming from which bab? Qala yakulu. So this is coming from Nasara clan. How do you know that wow, this was Ajwaf Wawi? What reminded you of Ajwaf Wawi in by looking at the word? That the wow was the letter that got dropped in here, right? And there was a there's a dhamma on the foul kalima of the word from hunna kulna to nahnu kulna. That is reminder that there was a wow that got emitted from this word. If this word had to come from Samia clan, what will be the haraka? What will be the haraka on Qaf? Very good job. There is a kasra on the kaf, a qaf. Your qaf is going to be with the kasra. Very well done. So, okay, now you have an. I think that was in Antumillapi. Oh, yeah, there is one word. You can do the easy word now. Words now. So, dalalin. Dalalin is what type of a word? So, there is a mudaf, but why there is no idgham in your mudaf? This is sahih mudaf, but why there is no adgham? There's an alif. No, there's an alif in between the two letters, right? The two identicals are not together, right? There's an alif in between, therefore there's no merging that is going to take place when alif comes in between, or any letter comes in between, then there's no merging. Mostly you will see alif anyways, right? So there is no merging that is going to take place in here. Very good job. Okay, so now we have 5 more minutes. How about I leave you here, inshallah, and we will inshallah continue our grammar on Saturday, inshallah. For those of you who want to participate in Suratul Hujurat, just a quick reminder: this Suratul Hujurat in here, when I'm going to present to you Suratul Hujurat, kindly keep in mind this surah is not going to be just our grammar or and nahu. There will be in addition expectation that you are going to come prepared with the word to word of the surah as well. Is it okay if we come prepared with the word to word as well? And as also I was going to add the mani as well. If you would want to do it in English, you can do it in English, whichever language. If you want to do it in Bangla, that is fine with me. If you want to do it in Malayalam, that is fine with me. Whatever medium you use, you can use it for your meaning. And in addition, after every ayah, because this is a Suratul Ikhlaq, and I need to improve my Ikhlaq, which I am having great problems with. So as I want to learn and reflect on the surah, I would like you to reflect and learn the surah that way as well. So there will be always an option after the end of every ayah that what is your reflection, what is the lesson that you learned from the surah, how you were doing things before, and how this ayah is going to change your perspective of life, inshallah. Okay, so inshallah this is something that we are going to do No, we are going to just start it on Wednesday, and there is no, for you guys who are always in class, there is no such thing, okay, inshallah. But for all of you to qualify to remain in the course, kindly attempt your test. Without the test completion, unfortunately you will be able to access the recording, but I think that's not fair with the rest of the students who are working hard. Then because this is going to keep us this will not let us be on track if we all don't take our test on time and everything, okay, inshallah. So this is just a small advice from your teacher, that kindly attempt your test, because Sister Faiza and I, we really strongly appreciate all your efforts. We want all of you to benefit from this course and maximally benefit from this course, inshallah. Okay. So, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.